Y'all, my client's audience was losing it in the best way possible, like in the absolute best way possible. But my gosh, did we underestimate the sort of response that we were expecting? Because, like, bruh, our DMs were like full of hundreds of people, and we literally could not keep up when myself, my client, and her team were in the DMs. Like, it was so much. And it was a thrill in the best way to get that kind of response, to get her audience actually being the ones to reach out to us and ask us questions. And if y'all have ever launched anything, you know what that feels like. To have your audience basically hand you your messaging is amazing. And I want to talk about today how we did that and how you can replicate a similar thing in your own launches, especially if you feel like you haven't been in connection with your audience as much as you want to recently, especially if you feel like maybe you watch one of my previous videos where I talked about closing the gap between your launch system and your messaging, and like where those two connect, where your audience is at versus what your launch messaging is saying. And you're like, Chelsea, I need to close that gap, but I have no idea what to do so. How do I get my people to talk back to me? This is the video. I want to help you with that. So here's how it went, y'all. We decided, actually, this is a part of my system that I use, and I champion this. This is non-negotiable when my clients work with me. We have to get a very clear sense of where your people are at right now, not your last launch from 2 quarters ago or half a year ago, which is really 2 quarters, or a year ago, but like right now. If you launched at the top of the year, we need to find out if anything has changed. Okay? So I will always start this process with some kind of getting in contact with my clients' people, voice of customer situation, whether that's on Zoom calls or surveys. Usually we'll just do surveys, but if we have clarifying questions, we'll follow up and see if we can get on a Zoom call with folks, or if the client can just have a Voxer conversation and get some more clarification. So we started this entire process with that kind of deep dive survey, right? That's the first thing we did. And we were like, okay, we love the responses we're getting. We drafted the messaging roadmap from there, and I've done another video on the messaging roadmap as well that you can check out if you would like to. But we drafted the messaging roadmap from there. Everybody was feeling good. Client was feeling good. I was feeling good. We made our projections around what we wanted the launch to do and how many people we wanted to sign up for the masterclass that my client was giving. And then from there, we were like, okay, we're just going to run the play. So I was off writing copy for my client, and my client was off enjoying her life because a lot of the roles that she would be typically performing, I was taking over for her. And that's how we preserved her energy. We took care of her spaciousness so that she had what she needed to show up for people and wasn't as sick and run ragged as she was the last time we launched, or she launched without me. So we ran the play basically, and we did the pre-launch. We were getting good feedback. Everybody was loving the emails, really resonating, and things were okay. Like, things were as we expected. Nothing surprising or out of the norm about what we were seeing, right? On the right trajectory, on the right track for the pre-launch. I think we did like around 4 to 5 weeks of pre-launch for this situation. And so we get to the launch event promotion phase. And this was also at the top of the year. So we ended pre-launch, I think, like the last week of December. And midway through that week, we ended pre-launch and opened doors to the, actually, we were doing a challenge and then a masterclass after that. So we opened doors to the challenge and then the masterclass immediately after that. So we were promoting both at the same time. And while the challenge was happening, we were getting, we were promoting masterclass publicly and doing the challenge on the back end, right? So we had all of that going, and what we decided to do was use Manychat for our registration, right? Now that we had a landing page, we were running ads to the landing page. That was all good. But we also were using Manychat for organic registration. And I think actually we were using it a bit in ads too. In any case, we got what we got for the challenge signups. That was solid. But what we did that really helped us, I think, was that we had in the Manychat automation, first off, we once they signed up for the challenge, we invited them to the masterclass immediately after that. And then we also said, hey, if you have any questions that you want us to answer during the masterclass, feel free to drop them here. And actually, our team will come back and answer you if we can. And if we can't, we'll make sure that your question is included in some way in the masterclass. Y'all, when I tell you that we were overrun with questions, it was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. Not only did we crush our challenge registrations, and not only did adding in that extra step of asking them, hey, you also want to register for the masterclass right there and then really help us to like knock her masterclass registrations out of the park. I think that was the best masterclass numbers that she had ever had to date. I think it was nearly like, it was some hundreds of people registered for that masterclass, some ridiculous number, right? And then not only did those two things really work for us, but adding that extra question on the end, especially if you are in a position where you have a responsive audience, but you feel that distance right now, or you used to have a responsive audience, but you feel that distance right now, this is one of the best ways to get back in touch with your people. Because what this did for us was a few different things. First of all, it enabled us to validate the messaging plan that we had just created a couple weeks prior, because all of the questions that everyone was submitting were literally the things that we were planning to answer. These were all the things that we are putting in the challenge, all the things that we were putting inside the masterclass. Like, the questions in some way, shape, or form were already embedded into the messaging roadmap. So we were like, okay, we know our people, we're getting this. Yes, we're on track, right? That validation helped my client to show up a lot more confidently and with a lot more energy, because she felt that and had that evidence of, we know our people and we're gonna nail this. We just didn't realize how much. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that it actually gave us real scenarios and examples that our people were actually experiencing, real ways of thinking and indications of how they were thinking about what was going on in their industry, what was going on in their niche, how they were thinking about possible investments that were similar to ours. All of that, like, context that we had started to put our fingers on with the messaging roadmap, we got even more granular and specific based on the answers that people were sending in, based on the questions that they were asking. When we started talking back to them, like, we got even more specifics. And what I was able to do for my client, which is not something that I normally do, but these scenarios and these questions were just too good, y'all. They were too good. I'm telling you, we had hundreds of questions. It was so wild. I wasn't really thinking this at the time. I should have set up like a Zapier flow or something to pull those questions automatically out of there, because we were copy pasting and doing this manually, and that was wild. I keep using the word wild because it was so out there, y'all. We expected responses back, but we did not expect the sort of overwhelming response that we got. And so I was able to go in and actually edit the masterclass slide deck, the masterclass script that I had created for her, and really fine-tune a lot of the examples based on what people were sending us, based on the questions that they were sharing with us, based on the scenarios that they were giving us that they were experiencing, right? And what that led to in that masterclass was magic. Okay. Absolute magic. Because the aha moments, the resonance, the relevance of our slide deck, of everything that we were saying, was so ridiculously clear. Or people felt seen, her, like my clients, everybody that was on the masterclass, like aha moments, breakthrough moments, clarity, conviction, and a sense of like, oh, if there is a way to do this in the way that you are talking about, I want in. Tell me what I got to do it this way. And so naturally, at the end of that masterclass, the sale was the sale was simple, y'all. The sale was simple. The pitch was simple. The yes for nearly so many people on that masterclass was simple. And this is an example that I gave in another video, so you can also watch that video. I'll link all these videos in the description so you can see which ones I'm referring to. This is the same launch, right? But I wanted to zoom in on the masterclass and specifically what we did with Manychat here. And the reason why I wanted to do it is because of the response that it allowed us to get back, which allowed us to refine our messaging in a really granular and specific way that then allowed us to create that kind of connection, conviction that set the pitch up and made the results like so phenomenal for this offer. And as I said in the other video, 50%, nearly 50% of the sales from the entire launch came through just from that masterclass. And when we repurposed that masterclass and turned it into an evergreen funnel, like from June all the way back to November, it made 8 to 10K every single month. So that masterclass, it's the same one where I talked about I didn't want to script it. I didn't want to do the slide deck, but I added the deliverables in anyway. This refinement of that masterclass that came literally from our people just responding to us, right? And sharing their questions, sharing their real life scenarios, enabled us to create something that was so contextually powerful and so relevant for them that it created a sense of being affirmed in them. 1, 2, it created a sense of conviction that there was another way that was possible for them. And 3, it created a sense of belief in them that they could actually walk down this new path and create results that they were looking for. And the power behind that cannot be overstated. I'm telling you, when we were so inundated with those questions, we would go in the morning and be like, okay, y'all, we have to develop a system, because we, like, everybody's in there trying to get back to everyone who sent us questions. But it was like people were crossing over people, right? So we said, okay, we're going to flag the messages in this way. And everybody who has been connected with gets this flag. And then we check everybody who's been checked in with, we update in the spreadsheet. Like, because there were some people who we were like, okay, we just know you're a good fit for this offer. Do you want us to tell you more about it? So we started selling privately even before the doors were open. But yeah, it was such a mind-blowing moment for me personally, because like I said, we had already set the goals. We knew we would get a response, but we just didn't expect how intense the response was going to be. And we really could not have predicted how that just enabled us to fine-tune the messaging in such a way that was so relevant and so powerful for our people, that made the offer for the right person an easy next step, a very clear and convicted next step. And this is the power of actually reaching out and talking to your people. Let me tell you what I have not seen. I've not seen people be using Manychat in this way. And I will tell you, I comment, I send DMs. I know it's Manychat. I know you have, or whatever you're using. Manychat's not the only platform that does this. I know it's an automated messaging bot situation. Okay? I am clear. But it's a missed opportunity, because most people are actually not following up and asking folks, hey, is there a question I can answer for you? If this is where you are with this thing, how's your progress going? What's your favorite recipe in this recipe book? Where are you struggling in your dating journey right now, trying to get back to dating after divorce? Like asking really specific questions and allowing your people to answer those questions and talk to you. Bruh, let your people talk to you, fam. Give your people an opportunity to be seen and heard, and give yourself and your business an opportunity to refine your messaging in a way that you cannot replicate outside of guessing their exact words. So many of y'all are using Manychat and sitting on a freaking gold mine because you're not actually getting your people to talk back to you. And then you run your launches and wonder why your revenue and your results are not what you expected. And you're missing that your messaging and your whole launch system is extremely far away from the reality of your people's current life and current business and current health and current relationships, whatever it is that you help them with, right? You're missing it. You're missing the nuance that comes from actually getting your people's words and real life scenarios because they're not talking to you. Some of y'all need to just get back to like basics and start talking to your people again, like manually in the DMs, in email. Just start talking to them again. And especially in this whole situation with AI and the AI slop and like blah 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 blah. And even from the perspective of people being more critical of offers that they're buying, the trust recession in that sense, right? Like questioning the if really questioning in a very critical way if this offer and if this coach is worth my investment right now, if I can trust them to help me get to where I'm wanting to get to. This is an excellent first step to personally combat if you are feeling any effects of the trust recession in your business. If you are feeling like your audience is more critical than they have ever been of your offers, and especially if you sell high ticket, bruh, I have a coach who says all the time, sales is a contact sport. And if you've ever heard her say this, you know who I'm talking about. Sales is a contact sport. It means you have to get in there on the ground. You have to put in the reps. You have to be the one to run the play. You have to be on the field. You don't get to sit on the sidelines and say you played. You have to be in there like ramming people, to use a football analogy, right? Like you have to get in there. You have to get dirty. You have to put in the reps because it's by talking to your people that you understand exactly where they are. You get their words for your messaging, you get their scenarios for your messaging, and you also have a clear sense of how you can help them. You start to really get the nuance of exactly where they're at, and therefore you can craft better messaging angles, better analogies. You can look for better stories. When you have that context in the back of your mind, you can innovate and create a lot more relevantly for the context of your people. If relevantly is even an adverb that can be used there. If it's even a real adverb, right? Like the things that you create, the tools you innovate, the curriculum you build on, the frameworks you refine, when you have the nuance of your people, you are able to help them get to the result more effectively. When you don't have that nuance, you don't set them up for success. You don't set them up to actually be spoken to and heard, like they miss your messaging, right? Because you're missing the nuance, especially now more than ever, where people are looking for people who get the nuance of their lives and businesses and whatever other areas of help that they need, right? It sets us up when we get in the trenches with our people. This is the importance of closing this gap and really leaning in to the reality that humans are humans and we need to talk to one another, especially if we're trying to meet the needs of one another. And I think that Manychat and any other messaging platform that you are using to do this is a huge missed opportunity if you are not adding a simple, specific question on the back end of every single one of your automations. Even if you are in a position where you can't go in personally and answer every single one right now, actually pulling that in and letting it inform your messaging and asking your VA to be like, hey, send this automated reply to everybody. Let them know that I'm not directly answering their questions in DMs, but I'm taking it and it's informing the content that I'm going to be creating. It's informing my podcast episodes. It's informing what I post on IG stories. It's informing what I'm going to talk about in my next masterclass, right? Like, these are things that are so important and powerful if you are looking to connect with your people, if you are looking to actually help them, if you are selling offers, that will help them. Because a lot of folks, here's the thing, a lot of folks will drop their thoughts in the comments. But a lot of people are also very private. And so they're not dropping their thoughts in the comments. And they're not going to talk to you, even if they like you, if you don't give them an opportunity to. Because it's probably never, like, they probably never occurred to them, one or two. Quite frankly, they're just like, this person ain't going to answer me. They got a life. They're busy. It's not going to be really them in their inbox answering me. So what would be even the point of sending them a question, right? So people want to be reminded that, hey, there's a human on the other side, and that human is interested in what you have to say. That human is interested in what you are wrestling with, and that human is invested in getting you to where you say you want to go. So the more information that you give that human, the better they can actually help you from a real genuine perspective, right? And so let that human give you the opportunity to give them that information. You are the human. You with a Manychat account, you with whatever account you have that does your DM automations and your comment automations. You are that human. You are that human on the back of the business that people need to know cares, is interested, is invested, and actually want to get close to the community that they serve. All right, y'all. So if you have any of these automation systems set up and you don't have a specific question at the end of it, boo-boo, do it. Do it. You are probably leaving thousands, tens of thousands of dollars on the table because you are not talking to your people in this way. And yes, it can get very manual in some cases, but it doesn't always have to be, one. And two, I think that's what's needed. I think that's what's needed right now. I think to give us a sense of reconnection, a refreshed sense of purpose, and a sort of reinvigorated energy towards our communities, talking to our people is it. It's the energy is undeniable, y'all. I thoroughly enjoy replicating that feeling in every single launch that I do now because I love to see my clients' people respond to them. I love to see us have that validation that, yeah, we're on the right track with our messaging, or, ooh, we missed this. This is huge. We need to include this. I love those moments. I absolutely love those moments. And I think that the sort of energy that you get from hearing your clients' people talk back to you, from hearing your people talk back to you, the energy that you will receive, it fuels you to show up in a real, genuine way for your people that you can't replicate by just talking to Claude on the back end. Like, you just can't. So go talk to your people. Go get them talking to you. That's my encouragement to you today. All right, y'all. If you are listening to this and you are like, Chelsea, I obviously need to start talking to my people, and I can set up the Manychat, but once they start sending me the questions, how do I integrate that into my messaging? What do I do next? If that is you, my consultation hour is available at 50% off between now and May 8th. So you can grab a spot if you want. The link is in the description box. If you have any other comments or questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below, or you can head over to Instagram and DM me there as well. All right, y'all. Have a great one. Take care.